So you're ready to be a UGC content creator, but now you might be wondering, where do you find brands to work with and how do you get them as a client? In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 different ways in which you can find brands and begin reaching out to them so that you can start getting paid as a UGC content creator. And be sure to stick around to the end where I give you a bonus tip, so keep on watching. Before you reach out to any brand, it is so important to be as professional as possible and to already have some sort of work to show them in your UGC portfolio. Now, if you don't have a UGC portfolio just yet, I have an entire playlist dedicated to all things UGC, as well as UGC portfolio specific videos linked in the description below for you to watch straight after this one. The first place you can find brands to work with is the TikTok Creative Center. Now, this is one of the most common places to find brands that use UGC content and have a budget for it because they actually have a budget for ad spend too. Now, to find brands via the TikTok Creative Center, you'll want to be signed in into your TikTok account. Then you'll click Inspiration in the top menu bar, click Top Ads Dashboard, and scroll down to the section where you can customize your results. You can pick the industry, the campaign objective, and scroll through all the videos and make a list of the various brands that catch your eye or that you would see yourself excited to create videos for. There are literally so many brands that you can write down and start reaching out to. You can simply write these brands into a Word document or a Google Doc or into Notion, etc. The second way to find brands to work with as a UGC creator is via the Meta Ads library. Similar to the TikTok Creative Center, the Meta Ads library shows you all the ads that are currently running on Meta platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. You don't need to be logged into any account to scroll through the Meta Ads library, so all you'll need to do when you get to the website is pick the country in which you'd like to see the ads from, the ad category, which typically you would choose all ads and search by keyword or advertiser. So for example, you can write skincare and all the ads will populate and you can scroll to see which brands are currently running ads. Alternatively, if you're curious about a particular brand, whether they're running ads, you can write their name in here as well. There will be numerous brands that you can add to your list. When you're first starting to reach out to brands, you'll want at least 30 brand names and emails because not everyone will respond to you and not every brand will necessarily say yes to working with you as well. The third way in which you can find UGC brands to work with is via a website called Thing Testing. This is a website where you can discover new brands, actually test these new brands and their products if you have an account with their website, and even share reviews about them. However, I also believe that this is a really awesome platform to discover and branch out to lesser known brands. Now, up the top here, you have trending brands, and you can simply explore all brands as well, and you'll see that they have a variety of brands in a variety of categories. Now, again, as a brand catches your eye, you'll just want to add that to your list of brands to reach out to. The fourth way to find brands to work with for UGC content is Instagram. Now, Instagram is obviously one of the most known ways to find brands to work with, as brands are always trying and testing new ways to better connect with their audience, and some brands already have started branching out to working with UGC creators. The easiest way I find to find brands is to look up a brand that you already like and follow, go to their profile, click the Suggested For You accounts, and below there will be a list of similar brands that you can now look up and see if they are using UGC creators. The most important point of this is to see if they're already working with creators, because the last thing that you want to do is pitch to a brand that doesn't use UGC creators or doesn't even know what UGC is. Now, I'm not here to convince any brand or educate brands on what UGC is, so I skip these brands altogether. I also look for brands that are within the 20 to 80K follower range, as the bigger brands tend to work with either bigger influencers or are just inundated with so many requests, so I rather just use my time finding smaller brands so that my email has a less likely chance of going missing or unread. Again, as you scroll, just add these brands to your list. The fifth way to find brands to work with as a UGC creator is via Instagram sponsored posts. Normally when you're scrolling on Instagram stories or on the home feed, every few posts, a sponsored post will pop up from a brand. Now, this is basically a brand that has put money behind either a post from their Instagram page or has had a creator create a post or an ad for them. Now, this tells you this brand has an ad budget and more than likely also has a creator budget. It's definitely recommended to be mindful and aware of the brands that pop up on your feed so that if one does catch your eye, you can add them to your list of brands to reach out to. The sixth way to find brands to work with as a UGC creator is via Twitter. Twitter surprisingly has a really large UGC community, and brands who post their needs for UGC content creators via hashtags such as UGC creators needed or UGC creator wanted. Therefore, if you have a Twitter account, you can simply search Twitter by these hashtags in the search bar, and usually various posts will pop up with brands posting their UGC needs. Now, if used correctly, you can create a great community of fellow creators, as well as get seen by brands needing UGC if you post regularly and show off your work. And as you do this over a period of time, you'll begin to notice that brands will actually reach out to you rather than you needing to reach out to them, which is always nice because it means less time for you needing to pitch yourself, which can be really time consuming. I personally have a Twitter account. I don't use it as much as I would like to because I'm quite busy actually making these videos here on YouTube for you, as well as consistently working with brands at the moment. Therefore, it's not really a place that I spend a lot of my time on at this time. The seventh way to find brands to work with for UGC work is via brand platforms and marketplaces. These marketplaces are basically websites or apps that house various brands that are seeking UGC creators for their campaigns. Now, they usually have specific campaign objectives and briefs already outlined, as well as their budgets for these campaigns. The downfall to this is oftentimes it doesn't really leave too much room for negotiation. Therefore, you really do need to assess whether or not the price is worth the amount of work that the brands are actually asking for. Now, I've declined and scrolled past many campaigns on these platforms because oftentimes the brand scope of work is really way more than what they're willing to pay. And I don't know about you, but time is money. While there are literally so many UGC platforms and apps that you can apply to and be a part of, such as Join Brands, #Paid, and Backstage, there are two I enjoy the most, and they are Incense and Coley. Now, I've completed about 40 campaigns on Coley now and about 20 on Incense. The main thing with these two particular platforms is to complete enough campaigns to get badges and achieve certain levels of achievement so that brands know that you're an expert in what you do and so that they feel confident in working with you. So for example, Coley goes by silver, bronze, and gold medals, and Incense goes by various types of badges like top rated, UGC expert, etc. I personally wouldn't try to solely work on these platforms because again, they don't always pay the most and they leave zero room for negotiation. But if you're especially new to UGC or prefer to reach out to brands that you already know have campaigns that they need videos for, this is honestly such a great option. The bonus tip on how to find brands to work with for UGC is to work on creating your own personal brand. Now, while it's not 100% necessary because I personally don't have a huge brand or following and I have landed some really decent UGC deals, brands generally do love to see that you have your own thing and your own brand going on social media. So whether that's posting your UGC work on a UGC dedicated Instagram page or TikTok page, or create content within a specific niche, this instantly gives you more credibility over someone who maybe doesn't have as big of a presence. Additionally, by having your own personal brand, when you start pitching or negotiating with them, you instantly have a lot more leverage and have justifications as to why your rates are your rates. And finally, when it comes to finding a brand's email, the easiest way to contact a brand is via Instagram direct messages. Now, other ways that you can find their email is via the brand's website, LinkedIn, or Chrome extensions such as Hunter.io or Clearbit. Now, as you can see, there are so many ways to find brands to work with for UGC content creation, and there is no real right or wrong way to go about this. It does take a little bit of time to cultivate relationships with brands, and it is a bit of work to find the right type of brands to work with. But with persistence, consistency, and the right mindset, all is possible. Again, all my other videos pertaining to UGC are linked in the description below, as well as my UGC products for you to check out. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.